forms.
The opinions presented on the Healthy Steps show are the evidence-based opinions of Dr. Fred Harvey, the callers, and his guests. These are not the opinions of the staff, the volunteers, or the board of WMNF. The information provided on the show is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. There is no implied patient-physician relationship in these calls. The nature of the calls is educational and informational only.
Good morning there, Dr. Harvey. Welcome to your own show, the Healthy Step Show. And let's go start into it. It's all yours, Doctor.
Thank you, Bill, and welcome everyone to Indigenous Peoples Day. I really think that there's somebody I'd like to mention today, but first I want to mention that this is not a call-in show, obviously, but I will answer questions if you put something in the tagline or in the information spot on the donation form, written ones only. There is a $250 challenge, and that is really a good thing to go with, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I just wanted to mention that this is the fundraiser show. We're trying to develop a bigger community here, and the notion that this community is so vital to our world, to me, is prime, because we have a community radio here supported by our listeners. Listeners actually choose the programming because they do it by supporting the programs that interest them. And so if you are interested in talking truth about health issues, I would like you to support my show in any way possible. But one of the best ways to do this is to join, I think, the Circle of Friends. But before I go into that, Sean has some people that I think already donated before the show started.
Yeah, so first I have some people to thank who donated right at the end of Democracy Now! And helped put Democracy Now! Over the top. So I want to thank Anonymous from Tampa. Thanks so much for that $20 contribution. Also, we got a donation for Midpoint. Thanks to Pamela Eliopoulos, and she says that Shelley is an inspiration. Please carry on. And so thanks so much to Pam for that donation. That's very helpful to support the station and support other great shows. But also, as Dr. Fred mentioned, we do have a challenge on the table. If we can get $50 donations, we will get an additional $225 from this anonymous donor. So please, with your $50 donation to support Healthy Steps and WMNF, if you send that to us, if you make a donation and we get enough of them, 5 of those, we will get this additional $225 from this anonymous donor. So thank you so much for that challenge, and thank you in advance for supporting Dr. Fred's show on WMNF. It's called Healthy Steps, and we hope that you support it. We hope that you get good information from Healthy Steps and that you like the information and you will make a donation. 813-239-9663. You can also donate at WMNF.org.
And when you make your donation, understand this supports the entire station. This is a family. So whatever you donate to me supports my show, but it supports the operations here at the station, which is basically run with only a couple of employees. Volunteers run most of this station. And so, it's really a different station. It's a nonprofit. And it's been around for almost 50 years, which is pretty amazing. Totally run by listener support. And the fund drives, as has been mentioned, only happen 3 times a year, only about 21 days. And so during this week, this is my only time to ask you to support my show. And I think that I've had so much support. I appreciate everyone who's donated in the past and who is donating today, because I love to help people understand the truth about human health. And like me, I want to mention this guy because he is busting myths when it comes to the colonialist view of health. So to put it in context, our illness care system, our current medical establishment, was developed by colonialists. White Northern European people are pretty much responsible for a significant portion of how we look at things. And unfortunately, many of the most powerful voices in this actually believed that there was a difference between the physiologies of people with different colored skin. But what we realize is that there's only one race, it's the human race, and there are no major significant differences. I know I could get pushback on this, but in reality, nearly everyone responds the same way to the same medications, to the same illnesses. There are slight variations, but they're not racial. They are actually simply genetic changes that aren't due to skin color. So Joel Bervell, Bervell, is a mythbuster. This guy is brilliant. He's a Ghanaian American physician, and he has been on social media dispelling the myths that we've made up about indigenous peoples in Western medicine. And when you listen to the things that he says, it's sometimes absolutely mind-boggling how distracting the things that I was actually taught in medical school can be, and how destructive they can be to people of color, to indigenous peoples. And so he's a great guy to listen to. It's JoelBervell.com. And he will teach you about these myths the same way I try to teach about the myths. And if you like to learn about myths, my show and his are the place to do it. And I think that supporting truth is really important. And that's what resistance radio is all about. And if you consider the amount of investment of time that I put into this, and that the rest of the volunteers and paid people at this station put into bringing you the truth and the wonderful music, it is really worth considering a donation. And when I was talking about the Circle of Friends earlier. I'm a member of the Circle of Friends. Circle of Friends is the people that give a monthly gift and that commit to helping WMNF create a budget. Because if they know that we're going to be giving a certain amount every month, then it can be budgeted for. And so for any new Circle of Friends members, with a monthly gift of $5, you get a new Circle of Resistance bamboo phone stand. I love it. For $10, you get a grocery tote. And ongoing, by giving more, you get more from the station. But also, you can really influence programming and get more good programming out of the station. And if you want to support this, please call now, 813-239-9663, or go to WMNF.org and click the Donate Now button.
Dr. Fred, I have some people to thank. These people donated before your show started. We're not going to count these toward the challenge yet. Remember, we're still looking for 5 people who can donate $50 or more. If we get that, we'll get an additional $225 from a generous anonymous donor. I want to thank Brian Gordon from Sarasota, who contributed $100. Brian is getting the WMNF Resistance t-shirt. Also, Danya Quick from Riverview is contributing $53.70. She's getting the WMNF window cling that says "On the Gulf of Mexico." She calls this a really helpful show. I love it. So thank you for that donation. Also, Juanita Large from Sarasota is donating $11. Thank you, Anita. Kelly Warren from Sarasota is contributing $21.70. She says, thanks, Dr. Harvey. And Elle from Bradenton is donating $150 and is getting the Jersey hoodie. So thanks to everyone who has donated before the show started. We're looking for our first donation during Healthy Steps. Here's the number to call. If you like Healthy Steps And if you like Dr. Fred's advice, 813-239-9663. You can donate on the website, WMNF.org. You can also go there to see all the great thank you gifts and take your pick there and make your donation as well. We would love to hear from you. We would love it if you support Dr. Fred's show right now. We have a $2,300 goal this hour. We're part of the way there, but we're not super close just yet, so we need your support. 813-239-9663.
Well, Sean, that was a beautiful start, and I'm really feeling the love. Thank you for all those donations, everyone, and I really appreciate it. I think some of those people, maybe most of them, have listened before because they say that they really like the show, but I want to talk to the people that just tuned in today. Welcome. If you have just discovered WMNF and the Healthy Steps Show, I'm so glad to connect with you. So that you're listening to my voice means that you're part of this community. You're part of the family. And as a new listener, I want you to know that WMNF is truly independent, commercial free. It is supported by us. There's no larger organization that funds it. Unfortunately, the administration just took a bunch of money away. So the more support that we can get now is so important. There's no university backing this one up. This is us. This is the community. 90% of the budget comes from donations made by listeners. And so I really appreciate everything that you folks bring to us. And I think that, I hear a lot these days about people looking for answers, looking for really complex answers. And I actually see a lot of stuff on social media where I see clinicians, practitioners, whatever, talking about things that you can find to do to enhance your health. There's lots of new fads, this supplement, that supplement, this activity, like diving into a vat of cold water. A lot of this stuff is really external to us. Most of it is. And much of what we need to do to support health is an inside job. There is a recent article about dementia and how you can reduce your risk of developing dementia. And what's really amazing is that most of it has nothing to do with medical treatment. And that's what really I like about it, because it's dispelling myths about how you have to intervene in health with exogenous sources of stuff and things. Supplements and procedures. But like the very first thing that's mentioned in this paper for reducing the risk of dementia is to ensure good quality education and encourage cognitively stimulating activities in midlife. And that's what's really amazing, is that all you need to do is read. All you need to do is study. I mean, learning a new language, learning something in a complex like an instrument helps you to grow. But also, helping WMNF grow is an inside job. The family supports WMNF, and I know Sean has some more people to thank right now.
I do, Dr. Fred. I'm glad to be getting the first few people who have donated during the show while it's been on, and we hope that you call as well. Here's the number to make a donation to Dr. Fred's show, 813-239-9663, or donate at WMNF.org. Corrine Galipio from St. Pete is upping her Circle of Resistance membership. She is now going to be contributing $11 a month. Thank you so much. And she's getting our Circle of Resistance t-shirt. I'm sorry, our WMNF Radio Resistance t-shirt. And Shirley Kroll Buckland from Tampa is upping her circle of friends to $15 a month. Of course, that's the Circle of Resistance as well. And she wants it dedicated to Rob Lori. So thank you, Shirley, for that dedication. She's getting the WMNF window cling that says WMNF is on the Gulf of Mexico. And the special one here, Dennis Plews from Sarasota is contributing $53.70 in honor of his late wife, Eve Praying Plews, who was the former host of this show and a beloved friend of mine and of Dr. Fred. So thank you so much, Dennis, for that great donation. We thank you so much for that, and we really appreciate that donation.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Love you, brother. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate your lovely wife. She's always in my heart. And thank you all for continuing to donate. It really fills my heart that you appreciate this so much. And to go on with what I was talking about, simple things we can do rather than trying to find really big things. Difficulty with hearing is a principal cause of dementia. Hearing loss is a major issue. So decreasing harmful noise exposure is something really easy to do. Even making hearing aids more accessible can actually decrease the amount of dementia happening. And I just think that these are such easy things to do. Wear helmets when you're on a bicycle or doing contact sports. Wear your helmet when you're playing soccer and bouncing balls off your head. I know it sounds weird. Nobody wears helmets in soccer, but we know that soccer creates traumatic brain injury and continuing encephalopathy, just like in football. And so, well, actually, that is football in Europe. And so both of these cause head injuries. And avoiding head injury is a really easy way to prevent any dementia. And so we can actually, rather than being just preventive, proactive in everything that we do. So look for ways to help promote better health. And one of the ways we can promote better health for WMNF is to consider supporting the family with a donation. We really appreciate every bit of money that comes our way because, as I said, 90% of the budget comes from the community. And the community is the definition of this radio. So I'm asking that you consider to a donation right now. Call 813-239-9663 or go on to wmnf.org and click the donation button. How are we doing, Sean?
Well, Dr. Fred, we've got about $1,000 in. And we still need to raise $1,300 in the next 40 minutes, so we can do that with your help. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. You can make a donation at wmnf.org. If you recall, we were looking for 5 people to donate $50 or more, and we would get a challenge donation of $225. Well, part of the way there, we've gotten 3 of those 50 or more dollar donations. So we're still looking for 2 people who can contribute $50 or more. If that happens, we'll get a $225 matching gift from an anonymous donor. Here's a $35 contribution from Nancy in Sarasota. So thank you for that donation. Now we're looking for your help. 813-239-9663 or wmnf.org.
That is wonderful. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you for everyone who continues to donate. It's really simple. All you do is pick up the phone or open up your computer and tap a few keys. It's as simple as encouraging people to exercise. I know a lot of people have bad thoughts about exercise, but it can be really simple. Just walking around the block is enough to stimulate circulation and help. But that's something, again, you don't need to spend money on. You don't need to go to a gym. You just do something simple that increases your circulation. And so we don't have to get really deep into treatment. And they're looking for lots of Alzheimer's treatments, and they may find something effective. But if we do the foundations for promoting health, illness is much less likely to happen. And so doing things like maintaining healthy weight, that sounds fraught. People are struggle with weight so often. But when we refocus on actually seeking healthy weight rather than trying to lose fat, we reframe it into a more friendly way of doing things. I really was overweight in the end of the first decade of the 2000s, and I did not seek to lose weight. I simply sought better health. So I just made dietary changes and exercise changes that were aligned with how I felt. And so I didn't like gyms, so I went to walking, because walking gets me in with nature, and nature helps me to feel better, because walking in nature is just good for us. And walking in nature in the morning is really good because you get sunlight on your legs and it changes your physiology. It changes your cortisol and your melatonin. And so it enhances health rather than trying to treat the illness dementia. We raise the function of the body so that dementia isn't really an issue.
Hey, Dr. Fred, do you mind if I interrupt for a second and ask you a question? What is it specific about getting sunlight on your legs? Why would that make a difference?
There is a really interesting thing that something happens when, and they've looked at this in clinical study, where you can get sunlight on the back of your knees. There's the hole at the back of your knee, that sunken in place called the popliteal fossa. For some reason, if you get light there, you trigger better melatonin production at night. If you get it there in the morning, it tells your body you've been awake, and it sets you up to have better melatonin at night, which is brain protection. Melatonin is an antioxidant for the brain. And so it's so amazing how wonderful our body is and how it's designed to interact with nature. We're not separate from it. We are a part of this planet. And once we realize that we are integral and everything else living on this planet is integral to our lives too, we will actually transform the way we live. We won't try to consume the planet for profit. We'll respect it as our home, because it's the only home we're going to get. And all those people smoking crack and thinking about going to Mars for a colony are doing just that. It's really a druggy delusion. And there's no point. We have a planet here that's fabulous, unlike any other in the entire universe. Why would we want to terraform Mars when we have this one? Why are we terrorizoforming this planet? Stop terrorizing our planet and we can live here. We don't need to go elsewhere. There's just no need for it. We can live happily here on planet Earth as long as we take care of it. And as long as we take care of WMNF, it's going to be here helping us with the resistance. So I'm going to ask you right now, call 813-239-9663 or go online to WMNF.org and think about supporting this fabulous community.
The Resistance Radio t-shirt is a great way to do that. If you look at WMNF.org, you can see what this t-shirt looks like. It says Resistance Radio, but the O in radio is the colorful WMNF logo on a black t-shirt. It's a very sharp t-shirt. It's available in a tapered cut or in a unisex cut. And that can be yours with your donation of $100 or more to WMNF 88.5. So it's like a win-win-win. If you wanted to make a donation of $100 to get this Resistance Radio t-shirt, you'd get the t-shirt. You would help Dr. Fred get closer to his goal. You would help the station get closer to its goal. And right now, you would be helping us to meet this challenge. We have a $225 challenge on the table. We're still looking for two more $50 or more donations. So please give us a call right now, 813-239-9663. Tell the beautiful and healthy phone bank volunteer that you would like to get the Resistance Radio t-shirt for your $100 donation or whatever other thank you gift you'd like. Or if you'd like to do it without talking to one of our volunteers, you can go to WMNF.org, take a look at all of the thank you gifts that are there, and make your selection and select Healthy Steps Radio Show for the show you're supporting and help us to meet the goal this hour. We still need to raise $1,300 this hour. I think we can do it, but we absolutely need your help. 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org.
I really love the new logo with Resistance Radio on it. I got the last black T-shirt with the big logo in the middle, but I want a new one. I'm going to have to donate to get me a new T-shirt because I really like this logo because I'm all about the resistance because I need to resist stupidity. And we have a lot of that going on today. One of the things that actually prevents dementia is to reduce your exposure to air pollution. And there's a lot of people on the planet right now that think that burning fossil fuels is necessary for human life. And I think it's actually necessary to end human life because the amount of particulate that comes out of burning fossil fuels is part of what is killing us. Exposure to high particulate air pollution actually increases dementia. And so the people that are living in places like Delhi, in India, that have 900 parts per billion of particulate of the 2.5 micron size, these people are at accelerated risk for heart disease, cancer, stroke, dementia, and every other degenerative illness that we can get. Air pollution is horrible. So we really need to continue addressing the problems with air pollution. Another air pollution is cigarette smoke. Fortunately, I think we're down to about 10% of Americans who smoke cigarettes. Unfortunately, they're still smoking. A lot of them are still using nicotine vapes, which really aren't much better because nicotine actually causes many medical problems. So there's a lot of stuff we can do that's really simple, again, to defeat dementia and all of our other degenerative diseases because they come from the same sources. And the source that keeps this radio station going is you. You are this radio station because it's your donations that keep this radio station going. There are no corporations dictating what we can say here. My friend Eve had been on a commercial radio station in Sarasota before she was invited to take over a show here on WMNF. And what really is amazing is that as she was doing her no-nonsense nutrition show on that station, she was calling out the fast food franchisers in the area. She had a name for them. She called them Burger Doodle. And she made fun of Burger Doodle on a regular basis and called it not food or tasty food-like substances, which is what it really is. And so she was told by the owner of the station that she had to stop talking badly about Burger Doodle. So, kind of like some fragile orange creature is telling media to stop talking badly about him because it's not free speech. What a ridiculous joke. So she was told she couldn't talk about truth on that commercial radio station. She was told to stop. So she said, okay, I'll stop. Goodbye. Find a new person. She left the station, and fortunately, she found her way to WMNF and started the health and nutrition show. I really appreciate that because she paved the way here for me to be able to continue speaking the truth that she started many years ago. And so if you like this community, if you want to support continued truth on air, please just start right now. You call 813-239-9663 or get online and go to WNF.org and click the donation tab because we have some really cool stuff here. For really big ticket donations are great. $1,000 will get you a WMNF event passport. That gets you 10 shows. You get to go to 10 of WMNF's great community shows during the course of the year, the events that come out. Also, you could get a patio paver. And I heard that someone actually just dedicated a donation to Rob Lori. Well, you could put Rob Lori's name on a patio paver for $1,000, or anyone else you would like to thank for what support they have given to our community.
That would
How's it going there, Sean?
Yeah, that would certainly get us a long way toward our goal. Remember, we need to raise $1,300 more during this show in the next 25 minutes or so, and we can do that with your help. You know what? There's nobody on the line right now. Give us a call, 813-239-9663, or donate at WMNF.org. Here are some people who just donated a minute ago. We have an anonymous donor who is helping us to meet the challenge. They're contributing $50. They say, keep up the good work. Thank you for that. Also, John from Brooklyn is donating $60. Johnny, thank you, Johnny from Brooklyn. It's his copay for Dr. Fred's excellent health advice, and he's getting the WMNF socks. So thank you for that donation as well. And we have Vicky Piloch from Bradenton is contributing $150. Says, thank you, Dr. Harvey, for the Healthy Steps program. You've helped me quit drinking alcohol, to start taking supplements, doing more exercise, and to meditate each day. I'm doing well. Your show is amazing. And Vicky is getting the WMNF jersey hoodie. So thank you to all the people who have donated. Do some quick math right here. We did reach the challenge. So, and this is an additional $260. So I bet we're about $1,000 away. 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org. Can we get that last $1,000, Dr. Fred?
We can get that last $1,000 because people like Vicky are listening. Vicky is so amazing because she listened and she applied it and she did the simple stuff, taking away toxins, adding in nutrition, adding in soul nutrition with meditation. These things change us and make us healthier. And it's so simple. The more of this stuff you do, the less you need to actually go to the treatment doctor because you'll have less things to treat. Doing what Vicky did actually helps with the dementia issue because reducing alcohol intake or getting rid of it completely really fixes your brain. And also, that'll reduce your blood pressure because excess alcohol increases blood pressure. So there's another risk factor for more dementia that you can do with simple intervention without pharmaceutical treatment. And I know a lot of people listening to this show don't want to turn to pharmaceuticals or to surgery or to radiation because for me, that is alternative medicine. That is actually illness care. I like health care. Anything we can do to improve health. And in order to improve the health of this show and this station, we need support from the community. So I'm going to ask you right now to come in, 813-239-9663. Talk to the wonderful volunteers and give us a donation, WMNF.org, and click on the donation tab. There's so much good stuff here we can support you with. I love the Resistance Radio t-shirt. The hoodie is really nice. And we're coming into winter, so they even have a ski cap. There's all kinds of really good things. What's happening up there, Sean?
Yeah, I can tell you that, we don't have any donations to thank right now because I bet our people, our listeners, our donors are thinking about it and about to make that phone call right now. Maybe they just need the telephone number. It's 813-239-9663, or perhaps they're right now on WMNF.org making a web donation, and we won't find out about it until they hit the OK button or whatever the last step is there. So we'll let you know as soon as that happens. We're waiting to thank you. I want to tell you about a couple of events that we have that we can give you tickets to with your donations. If you like blues and rock music, Zach Person is coming back to Skipper's Smokehouse for WMNF on the 15th of November. Zach is a guitarist extraordinaire. You may have seen him recently at Tropical Heatwave. For a $60 donation, we can give you a pair of tickets to see Zach Person at Skipper's in Tampa on the 15th of November. We also have our WMNF Halloween Ball coming up this week. It's the 17th of October at New World Tampa. That's up near Bush Boulevard and Florida Avenue. It's Nebraska Avenue and Bush Boulevard near that corner. The Halloween Ball, WMNF, 17th of October. For a $60 donation, we can give you a pair of tickets to that. And finally, in November, we're going to have our second installment of Wavemakers Live. It's at the Commodore in Ybor City. Tom Scherberger will host a conversation with William Popeye Osceola. And on Indigenous Peoples Day today, we can talk about that he is with the Miccosukee tribe in South Florida, and they'll be talking about all the struggles that are happening there with the Miccosukes and the Big Big Cypress and the Everglades. So if you would like a pair of tickets to go see that, that's available for a $50 donation to WMNF. So call now, 813-239-9663, or donate at WMNF.org. We're still looking for about $1,000 to help Dr. Fred meet his goal.
It may just be that people aren't awake yet. Coffee in the morning is really helpful to get you awake. And I just read an article that actually two of them. One, 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day actually reduce your risk of dementia. And the European Heart Journal says drink more coffee and you'll have less risk of dying. But if you've had your coffee, it's time to make a call, 813-239-9663.
Hey there, Doctor. I usually don't chime on in very often on your show because I really think that you've got the best handle on it. But I've received an email from Deborah Heading here, and she says, I love your show and have benefited from your advice over the years. I signed up to donate monthly in the amount of $86.47. Get it? $86.47. I challenge every freedom-loving listener to do the same. Keep WMNF on the air. Feels like freedom.
That it does. Thank you so much. I love 8647. That may be a new license tag. But
love that idea.
That is a wonderful donation, and it sounds like that might even put us over the top.
I'm not sure when she donated. This might have been already happened, or maybe she's thinking about it. I don't know. It's not a donation that we can count toward your goal. Sorry about that, Dr. Fred.
Oh, darn. But that doesn't matter because we're still going to work towards it, whether we hit the goal or not. But think about this. Morning coffee drinkers had a 16% lower risk of dying from any cause compared to non-coffee drinkers. And they had a 31% lower risk of dying from heart disease specifically. But if you drink coffee all day long, there's no change. And there's some really interesting thinking about this. And that's the main thing is that when we wake up in the morning, we tend to have a lot more inflammatory processes going on. And caffeine isn't the answer. You can drink decaffeinated coffee because in decaffeinated coffee, there are antioxidants and anti-inflammatories like caffeic acid. And these things are protective, but only when you do it in the morning. It's really crazy that we're coming up with so many things that are actually related to the diurnal cycle, the day-night cycle. And they found that in certain studies, in certain cancers, doing timed chemotherapy is more effective. So people are actually getting chemotherapy at like 3 a.m. because a specific cancer responds to it then. And so I love the fact that we are actually analyzing patterns in our reality, and it's showing that we are part of this planet. As I said before, sunlight on the back of your legs changes things, and coffee in the morning does. But the only way we're going to keep this show going is by actually continuing donations and thanking people that have called 813-239-9663.
Dr. Fred, Laura Kitching from Bradenton has contributed $119 and is getting the WMNF Resistance Radio t-shirt. So you can get one as well for your donation of $100 or more by calling 813-239-9663 or by donating at WMNF.org. With that donation, I think we need about $900 in the next 15 minutes, 16 minutes. So please call now, 813-239-9663. It's so exciting. I hope we make this goal. We still need to hear from you, 813-239-9663.
And when you make that call and consider talking to one of these wonderful volunteers, you'll hear how family-oriented they are. These people are so interested in having this community thrive and having you thrive, because the more information you get, the healthier you are. The more access you have to a diversity of ideas, but also of sounds. The music shows are so diverse and so wonderful that when we get to listen to all these different varieties of music. It challenges our brains to grow, to understand things in a different way. And that's what I intend to do every show, is to help you understand reality a bit better so you can grow. Call us 813-239-9663 or go online to wmnf.org to support this show and this station.
If you would like to help Sustainable Living meet its goal, Healthy Steps meet its goal. Sustainable Living is coming up in about a half an hour. We hope you support that as well. But right now, we really are looking at a deficit here for Healthy Steps unless we get that additional $900 that we need to meet the goal. Maybe you're a $1,000 hero. You heard Dr. Fred tell you earlier about WMNF's event passport. You get 10 tickets that you can use however you want for WMNF events, whether you want to go to one event and take 9 of your friends, or whether you and a buddy want to go to 5 different events, or maybe you just want to go by yourself to 10 different WMN events. You can do it however you'd like at our event passport. It's good for a year, that you get a total of 10 tickets that you can use however you'd like for any WMNF event. That's available for a $1,000 donation to WMNF. And as you might have guessed, if you do make that donation of $1,000, Dr. Fred will have met his goal for this hour, and we will feel great about having Healthy Steps succeeding in the fund drive. 813-239-9663 is how you can make that happen, whether it's a $1,000 donation or any other amount, or you can join the Circle of Resistance. If you join it at $84 a month, you can help us to meet that goal, or any amount, $5 or more. Maybe you can join the Circle of Resistance at $10 a month or $15 a month. We need to hear from you right now. There is one person on the line. We are hoping that you will call in as well and make your donation. 813-239-9663. You can donate on the WMNF Community Radio app, or you can donate at WMNF.org. Dr. Fred?
Yeah, if we're $900 away from getting goal, that would be a $75 a month Circle of Resistance membership. Think about it. It's a large donation, but you're spreading it over 12 months. And so many people frame $1,000 as, oh my God, I can't do that. But if you think about it as, $600 is $50 a month, $900 is $75 a month, $1,200 is $100 a month. Can you think about doing it monthly and really supporting this station's budget so we can plan for a future? If you're interested in joining the Circle of Resistance, call us at 813-239-9663 or go online to WMNF.org, and we'll be really glad to welcome you into the Circle of Resistance, because we're looking at truly a future that deserves all of us working together to build a better planet, a better society. We're struggling now because we have so many silos of independent thinking. People don't get together in groups, but this group, this family group, is amazing, and it provides educational opportunities, social opportunities, completely community-oriented opportunities to come together with like-minded people who want to build a better world. And our DJs are amazing. They produce these shows not by being told by a commercial sponsor that they need to play a certain selection of songs. They play the ones that you want to listen to and that they want to listen to, because each one of these hosts is dedicated to kind of like their sound. They have a type of music they love, and they know so much about it, and they're so willing to share with us It's just wonderful. I mean, the Rhythm Revival with Reverend Billy and the Freak Show with Grateful Dead. I mean, there's just such variety of such good shows on here. And they broadcast live on air from the studios in Tampa. They play music from personal collections that they bring in, really curated, rare things show up on this station you'll never hear anywhere else. And also on Fridays, there's live music in the afternoon. And so Ken and Mark put on the live music showcase, and it's always wonderful. So if you really want to support this kind of diversity and wonderful programming, call us 813-239-9663 and join the Circle of Resistance.
Dr. Fred, I'd like to thank Julie Richardson from Brooksville, who is so stoked to be able to receive WMNF up there in Brooksville. And she is getting a WMNF hoodie for a $150 donation. So thank you so much for supporting WMNF, for supporting Healthy Steps and Dr. Fred. I see another phone ringing. This is very exciting. We need, let me see if I can do math quickly. About another $750. So right now, if you would like to make a $750 donation, you would be the hero. Or if you'd like to make a $100 or $200 contribution to WMNF, we are looking for your support right now. Support Dr. Fred, support Healthy Steps, 813-239-9663. Earlier, we got a donation from Johnny in Brooklyn, and he said, my $60 donation today was part of my total $300 gift to WMNF because he was in a sleep lab clinical trial with Mount Sinai, and he was surprised that his participation yielded a $300 Visa gift card, so he dedicated the whole gift card to WMNF. Thank you for helping me realize healthcare, says Johnny, and he says he loves your show and will find a functional medicine practitioner up here in Brooklyn. So thank you to Johnny for that donation, and to all of our listeners who have donated so far. We still need about $750. We're looking for you to make that contribution to support Healthy Steps, to support WMNF. You can donate at WMNF.org or at 813-239-9663.
I really appreciate Johnny and other people who aren't in this area who donate to the station. They appreciate and understand its global reach and its community and its nature. And Johnny, I really appreciate you coming from Brooklyn. I know somebody last fund drive called in from Chicago. I'll call in all of our national and international listeners. If you like this show and you want to continue hearing it, please call us at 813-239-9663 or go online at WMNF.org to support these amazing people, this amazing community, so we can keep doing what we do here to help amplify the voices that have been, squelched by really corporate media. I do watch news because I like to see what's not being said. And when I watch, I used to really actually even appreciate the PBS NewsHour. But during the pandemic, I noticed that it was being sponsored by the people who manufacture the vaccines. So I began to wonder, how much is PBS NewsHour being affected by their corporate sponsorships? Because I remember watching that stuff since the 80s. And even then, the people that sponsored it were big financial corporations. And so it's interesting to consider it public media, but it's still sponsored by corporations. So are you getting the full story on stations like that? Or do you really need a station like WMNF? And I believe that we all need resistance radio.
WMNF.
Call us 813-239-9663.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Dr. Fred. WMNF is completely independent of corporate sponsorships. We have a couple of local businesses that support us because they're generous partners with us. And most of our donations now, about maybe 90% of our donations, come from listeners just like you. And just like Joe Riley from Dover, who has contributed $20. Joe says he's been listening since WMNF was testing to go on the air in the late 70s. He loves all the shows. There is no other radio station, says Joe. So thank you for that lovely donation. donation of $20, Joe, and we are looking for your support right now. 813-239-9663. Dr. Fred, it's the last 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the show. We really need to hear from our audience right now. We want to know that there's support out there. All of our shows have made goal during the News and Public Affairs that are hosted by live hosts. So we hope that Dr. Fred continues that trend. We would really love to know that there's support out there for the Dr. Fred Healthy Steps show. Give us a call right now, 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org.
Yeah, folks, you have done a great job in all of our previous fund drives. I think we have made goal in all of them, and this can be another one of those. We're looking for some massive support here in the last 6 minutes. Anybody who wants to throw in another $750 will put us over the top, but even 7 people with $100 would be great. I think it's going to be a stretch to get 15 people with $50, but I would love to see 15 people on the phones right now. So give us a call, 813-239-9663, so we can make goal and support this station and keep this positive truth information flowing.
This is WMNF Tampa. We are still looking for donations for Dr. Fred's Healthy Steps show. 813-239-9663 is how you can make your contribution count toward Dr. Fred's show. We are still $750 or so short, so we need to hear from you. We really want to know that there's support out there for Healthy Steps. 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org. With your $100 gift, you can get the Resistance Radio t-shirt. You can get it in the tapered cut or in the kind of square unisex t-shirt cut. That's available for a $100 donation. It's a black t-shirt with the colorful WMNF Burst logo on it. It says Resistance Radio. 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org.
And for $150, we can thank you with a soft jersey hoodie. Zipper up, and it's in a light flint blue. Looks pretty cool. For $250, you can get actually a gift pack. You can get the knit cap, the hoodie, and some really crazy cool socks, and also a WMNF, what is it, the 6-inch lens cleaning cloth. That's a really cool combination. We can really, even going down to a $25 donation, you can get an acrylic WMF magnet or a keychain. For $35, we can send you a really cool window cling, the one that says WMF is on the Gulf of Mexico. I love that. So give us a call, 813-239-9663, or go online, WMNF.org. We are 3 minutes from the end of the show, and we are far from goal. So please do what you can and support this show and this station.
Your $100 donation right now would go a long way in helping us to meet that shortfall we have right now of $750. With your $100 donation and others joining you, we might be able to make it. Let's see if we can make it. How exciting would it be to finish at the very end of the show here, crossing the goal? 813-239-9663. WMNF.org. We're looking for a couple more donations of $100, maybe 4 or 5 of you right now donating, and we would meet that goal. We want Dr. Fred to meet his goal for Healthy Steps today. During Healthy Steps, we want to reach that $2,300 goal. We're almost there. We've raised about $1,500. We still need to hear from you. 813-239-9663, or you can donate at WMNF.org.
Yeah, I really like that tee. It's $100 and definitely worth wearing out, because you're going to advertise for the most fabulous radio station on planet Earth. And there's nothing I like better than showing my pride about being part of this family. That's $100. And if just 5 more people came in and did that, would be so close to the goal. All you need to do is call 813-239-9663 and see what you can donate to help this station keep doing its great work.
This is WMNF Tampa. We have exactly 2 minutes to go. We're looking for your support on Healthy Steps, 813-239-9663. If you are calling right now, we'll probably thank you right after the NPR News headlines. But know that if you're donating now and your intention is to donate to Healthy Steps, it will be counted toward the Healthy Steps goal. So call now. We still are looking for about $750. 813-239-9663. Well, thank you, Dr. Fred, for pitching with us today, and we hope that you meet your goal. And we know that some of the listeners did come through. That was so great. It's great to hear from everyone. Thanks so much to everyone who donated, and we're still looking for that last little bit of support.
Yes, we are. We're down to the wire here, and this is the first one in a while. It seems like we're under goal before we ended, and I really appreciate everyone who's donated, and would love to see just a couple more to get us closer to that goal. We are at the end of the hour, but it's 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org, and pick the Healthy Steps Show for your donation.
Well, thanks, Dr. Fred. This is WMNF Tampa. Remember, for a $100 donation, you can get a Resistance Radio t-shirt that has the WMNF logo in full color on a beautiful black t-shirt. $100 donation to community radio. You can get that at WMNF.org, or you can you can also donate by calling one of our volunteers, 813-239-9663. This is WMNF Tampa.
Thank you, Sean, for partnering.
Thanks so much, Dr. Fred. We're going to go up to Washington to get some news headlines from NPR News, and then we'll be back with John Butts is in the studio, and we'll be asking for your donations to Sustainable Living on